What's up, you guys? Now, my channel, if you've been following my channel or if you just take a glance at my channel, you can see my channel is entertainment based. I do celebrity news and pop culture. I refer to myself as a pop culture critic now. And even though the story we're talking about today, the life we're talking about today, Breonna Taylor, even though it's not entertaining, it has to be talked about. It has to be talked about by people like you and me, people who don't normally talk about things like this. We have to make videos. We have to make a video. If you're watching this video, you have to make your own video. You have to make her name go viral. This story has to go viral because there's not a viral video. There's no video that will prick people's emotions to go along with the story. So you have to make your own video. You have to say her name on social media, and you have to hold people accountable for her death. It is not okay to come into our homes and kill us. It's not okay. They did it to Tatiana Jefferson. Now, Breonna Taylor, and it's not okay. Let me give you a little background on the story, and then we're going to get into the details.
And all news since our 6 o'clock news tonight. For the first time, the mother of Breonna Taylor, the young Louisville EMT shot and killed by Metro Police, is talking about how she learned about the police raid into her daughter's home. Tamika Palmer says in this interview that she actually got a call from Breonna's boyfriend, Kenny, seconds after the fatal shooting.
I could hear Kenny just like screaming and crying, and I could hear all this noise, but I'm not knowing what this noise was. Like I didn't, and I'm like, what is going on, Kenny? And he's like, I think Breonna is, he said, somebody was trying to break in here, and I think they shot Breonna.
This interview, conducted with Palmer in Louisville by news organization TMX and given to WHS 11 News Tonight. The 26-year-old Taylor was shot and killed on March 13th at her South Louisville home, where her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, was also living. After the shooting, LMPD investigators said officers were serving a warrant in a narcotics investigation. But in a new lawsuit filed against 3 LMPD officers, Taylor's family says they were looking for Taylor's ex-boyfriend and had actually arrested him before the warrant was served that day. Breonna's attorney says police failed to communicate. Her family says there were never any drugs in her home.
Never was no drugs in there, like ever. Like, how can you say there's drugs in this house? I live there firsthand. I know this. I live here. We're here 24/7. No, there's no drugs in here.
When you go in and you look at this house, they were shooting from outside the house like this was the Wild Wild West. Bullets went through Breonna's apartment into the neighboring apartment.
The lawsuit also says a 5-year-old was sleeping in that next door apartment. One of the officers, John Mattingly, was shot in the leg during the incident. The boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, is charged with attempted murder of a police officer. Taylor's attorney says police never identified themselves that early morning, and Walker shot at the officers in self-defense and is a registered gun owner. In a statement tonight, an LMPD spokesperson says this is an ongoing public integrity unit investigation and it wouldn't be appropriate to comment beyond their initial statements.
So Breonna Taylor was assassinated in her own home on March 13th, 2 months ago. And the reason why it's just now starting to get publicity is because her family hired the same attorney that's representing Ahmaud Arbery. They hired that same attorney, and that's why this story is just now starting to get press. Now, the police, from my investigation that I've done on my own, the person the police were looking for is a man by the name of, and I shouldn't even say looking for, because they had already found him. This is her ex-boyfriend who had been arrested earlier that day. But before police entered the home of Breonna Taylor, they didn't verify and check and see with their records to see if that man had already been arrested. What they did, they applied for a no-knock search warrant where they can come in plain clothes, just like anybody walking down the street, come in plain cars, and not even knock on the door. So that's a robber. Her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, responded to the police entry into his home as he would respond to a burglar or a robber. And that's exactly what they were. They robbed his family of this woman's life. So he responded with gunfire. They barged into his home and he responded with gunfire. And so in turn, they responded with gunfire. And they're saying she was shot 8 times. But from what I'm hearing, it was possibly even more than that. The police, let me tell you why it's not okay. The police are presenting this like it's an accident, like they just accidentally murdered her. No, it's not an accident. It's murder. When you walk into somebody's home with plain clothes, pull up in a plain car, don't knock on the door, and just barge into their home, and then you shoot them, that is not an accident. Let me tell you how that happens. Let me backtrack. And you know what? I want to go all the way back. I want to go back to the reason that police think that people like you and me, brown and black people, the reason they think that we should be compliant in our own homes. I want to go all the way back to the type of submission that they're really looking for. But I'm going to just go back in the paperwork. I'm going to just go back in the legal paperwork where they requested the no-knock warrant. When you do that, and even in their request, I researched their request, and it says that they were looking for narcotics because they felt like her ex-boyfriend was a drug dealer. Now, I bet you the drug was weed. And that's a whole nother story about how people who don't look like you and me who are watching this video are allowed to sell it legally. But people who do look like you and me, you know, it's a whole nother story, and it's a video for another day. But they were looking for narcotics. They were looking for proof of sale of narcotics, and it says they were looking for weapons because they said they felt that this was a trap house. Now, if you are looking for weapons, if you're a police officer looking for weapons, that means you're expecting gunfire. You're expecting gunfire, and if you execute that warrant anyway, that no-knock warrant anyway, that means you're expecting gunfire, and you don't care about the loss of human life. You don't care. If you proceed to barge into someone's home in plain clothes without even knocking on their door, and you expect them to have weapons, that means you expect gunfire. And you're okay with the loss of their life. Not your life. You're okay with the loss of their life. And that's why there was a barrage of gunfire from the police. And now the mother, I'm going to play a clip from the mother. She has said that during this, when Kenneth Walker and the boyfriend shot at the invaders, he called the police. He called her and he called the police because he felt like they were being robbed. Now, the Louisville Metro Police Department hasn't made too many statements regarding this case because, like I said, they were trying to sweep it under the rug. It's 2 months later, and it's just now starting to go viral. If we can make it go viral, it's just now starting to go viral. But in their earliest reports, they were referring to Breonna as a suspect. She's the one that they attacked. She's the one that they killed. But they were referring to her as a suspect. And the last time the actual suspect, and I'm going to put that in the biggest quotations, the last time the actual suspect was there was 2 months, January. From what the research I found said that he was seen there in January picking up a package, and then he went to a location known as a trap house. So between January and March, from what I saw, there weren't any records of him even being at her home. But yet they invade her home in the middle of the night and do this and take her life. So you guys, this is what I want you to do. These are the action steps. I feel like anytime we have things like this going on, we need to take action. And there are 2 action steps. For me, people like me who have platforms, or even if you don't have a platform, maybe your platform is your friends and family, make a video. Because the reason this hasn't gone viral is because there's not a viral video of it attached to the story. So make a video. Talk about Breonna Taylor. Say her name. That's action step number 1. Action step number 2 is to go to standwithbree, BRE.com, standwithbree.com, and that's where you'll find, that's organized by Sean King, and that's where you'll find more formal action steps that you can take to make sure these police officers are prosecuted. Right now, they've just been reassigned. They've been reassigned, so they're still working. So we definitely want to make sure that they're taken off of the police force and that they are not reassigned and not given the opportunity to take another woman's life, a woman, a man, to take another human being's life. And Kenneth Walker, her boyfriend, the one who shot the invaders that entered their home, he's been charged with first-degree assault and attempted murder of a police officer. As of as of today's recording, Wednesday, these charges still stand. And so we definitely want to go standwithbree.com and take those action steps to pressure the court system to drop those charges, because he was standing his ground. This is what stand your ground really means. If you're using stand your ground in the way that it was created to be used, this is what it really means. When you have invaders, people in plain clothes barging through your door, this is what stand your ground means. Y'all, we can't stand for this. We cannot stand, sit, lay down. We just can't do it. We have to take action. We have to take action. We have to take action and make this case go viral. If it's on social media using the hashtag Breonna Taylor, whether it's on Stand With Bree, they have an automated system to set up automated phone calls to put pressure on the people who can drop these charges against Kenneth Walker, who was just defending his home, and who can put pressure to charge the police officers with the murder, with the death of Breonna Taylor. We have to take action.